to back up everything I'm saying, and I'm through talking.
This gymnasium is packed. It is absolutely packed. Yeah. College Park boys with the ball. Trimble is good down as well.
Welcome to another episode of Alumni Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Gorns, the Director of Team Operations for the Alumni Basketball League. Today we have a very special guest, the NBA champion, NCAA champion, Brandon Rush. But before we get to that, just remember to follow us on Twitter at the USA, ABL USA, on Instagram, ABL Balling, and the website, ablballing.com. We'll be ready to bring you some matchups of 2023, some of your favorite college rivalries. So definitely continue to support us as we get ready for an action-packed summer. So we have here Mr. Brandon Rush, the brother of the co-owner of the league, Kareem Rush, who's had an extraordinary basketball career. I just want to start out with, and I know you came from behind your brothers, but what really got you excited about playing basketball at a young age?
Just watching those two guys just pretty much dominate the whole AAU circuit, and it's tearing up, and everybody just being excited for the guys in the city. So I just figured that it'd be the best bet just to follow those guys in their footsteps and just play the game. And I'm pretty glad that I picked it up. I mean, it's been a life changer, but I'd enjoy playing the game and watching them.
So how did you end up at Mount Zion? And if I'm not mistaken, you were there, what was it, 2004?
Yeah, I was there 2000. What was that? 2004 to 2005.
Okay, so you was there with
I did 2 years. I did 2 years there.
Was you there with a couple of DC guys?
What was I with? We had a lot of guys that going to D1, but I don't know exactly where he's from.
Okay.
I kept close tabs on a couple of them. I still talk to a couple other guys, but I don't remember any guys being from the city.
No issue. I was just looking. I know we had a lot. Mount Zion, I think it was at 2005, 6, 7 years. A lot of guys from my area, they went there. I think Tracy McGrady might have went there at some point. Yeah, I mean,
Jared Jackson went there too.
Yeah, Jared.
I know he's not from DC. Yeah.
Yeah, Jared Jackson, that's a DC guy. Yeah, but no, that's good stuff, man. So, how was your time there, and how did you end up at Kansas?
My time there was great, man. It made me grow up. I was 16, 17 years old, living on my own pretty much. We had a nice house and this house full of teammates. We had our assistant coach being like the head of the house, and it's made us grow up real fast. And I'm glad that my mom made a decision to send me out there. And that was the main reason why I went to Kansas, just so that I can get back to their area and they can come out and see me play, because they missed a lot of my high school basketball games.
No, I mean that's great, man. So while you was at Mount Zion, was you the number 2 player and number 2 small forward in the country? What was your recruitment like? So outside of Kansas, I know who else was right in there with you?
So I took a couple of visits to 3 different schools. I went to IU, took a visit there. That's exactly where I live at now. I live in Indianapolis, so that's like a 45-minute drive for me. Then I took a visit down to Oklahoma with Captain Sampson was down there. Mm-hmm. And then another visit to Kansas, and the trip to Kansas this sold me. I
So
mean, it's close to home, and I mean, they treated the basketball players like basketball guys. I mean, it was a historic place, field house. I mean, it's nothing better than college basketball just playing in the field house.
now, when you were being from Kansas City, like who was your toughest matchups like in Kansas City? Like who's from there that the rest of the country might not know about that created like that great basketball
I
atmosphere?
mean, guy out of Paseo, Quentin Day. Everybody
Mm.
calls him Pooh. Yeah, he was left-hander. He was smooth like Green was. Had hops. Man, he can do it. He can pretty much do it all. But he made a decision to go to a school that was in Kansas City. So he was pretty much around the same crowd he went to high school with. So he wasn't able to go to that next level that he needed to go. But he played overseas for a while. He made some good money, and he's one of the surprise high school players that I played against.
I mean, I know I've been to Kansas City, man. I know it's a sports town. So you get to Kansas and you're the Big 12 Rookie of the Year. Like, talk about that first year. Like, I mean,
I mean, that first year, I mean, I kind of surprised myself how well I played. I mean, I started out the gate. I mean, we had a young team. We had like three or four freshmen pretty much starting. Nobody really knew what type of team that we had, and we surprised a lot of guys during the season. A lot of them vet teams. That's back when teams were had the sophomores and the juniors and the seniors, the upperclassmen. Not everybody's doing that one and done stuff. So we surprised a lot of guys in our freshman year, and I just played. I mean, I played as crazy. I mean, I led the team in scoring. Shot over 50% from the 3-point line. It was just a hell of a freshman year for me.
I mean, you win. I mean, Big 12 tournament MVP. I mean, and people don't understand how hard it is to dominate leagues like that as a freshman. Because you're pretty much outplaying NBA guys on a nightly basis at 18, 19 years old. That's a tough thing to do. So who came in with you at KU in that class?
So our freshman class was myself, Mario Chalmers, Julian Wright, Micah Downs. So that's four freshmen right there. We just were the top 20, top 25, top 50 guys in the country at the time. So just to get that group together and get us to build that chemistry as a young unit really helped me be a great college player my freshman year.
So after your sophomore year, you entered the draft, but you came back. What brought you back to Kansas?
So my sophomore year, I ended up tearing my ACL and working out to prepare for the draft. So I decided like, hey, the best bet is to come back and have a great season my junior year and try it again. And luckily I did. It was a blessing in disguise because we won a national championship. I was able to get my draft stock higher, and end up being a lottery pick that following year. So it just worked out that way.
So we're going to your senior year. I mean, I know you guys are ready to dominate, and I remember specifically that championship game against Derrick Rose and crew. But just talk
Mhm.
about like your team's mindset that entire season leading up to that NCAA tournament run.
I mean, we ended up just losing three games the entire season. I think we was 37-3. I mean, that's pretty much just dominating every team you come across, dominating the league. We won pretty much everything um, that year, as far as championships, outright championships for the Big 12 tourney. Then we got to the tournament, and our biggest challenge was the team with Davidson, with Steph was on. That was our biggest challenge to move into the Final Four. And they had a chance to they had a chance to win that game. They missed the buzzer beater at the last moment, and we was able to move on from that, and we dominated North Carolina in the semifinals and the Final Four. And then we came across some boys, them Tigers, Derrick Rose and CDR and all those guys. Man, we were just blessed. They was just missing free throws, and they pretty much just shot themselves out the game. That's
So
that's
when
how we
when
won that game.
when,
Yeah.
when Mario took that shot, like what was in your mind? Like, did you know it
I'm
was
like,
good?
I didn't know it was good. He got a good look at it. I mean, I was running this. I seen him go up and shoot. I just ran to the rim, try to get an offensive rebound. That thing went in, man. Once you get to that, once you had that momentum and you carried on in overtime like we did, it was. I think we just had a soul at the time.
I mean, so you win the championship. I mean, you get. I think that was Bill Self's first championship, if I'm not mistaken. So now it's NBA time. You're the 13th pick in the draft. What role did Kareem play preparing you for the NBA? Having, been in the NBA for 5 years around that time, having, he was in the NBA at the same time as you. Um, so how was he mentally getting you ready for what you would have to deal with in the
I mean,
NBA?
this from his early years with the Lakers and stuff. I was able to go out there and spend like the summers with him while he was training, and I seen his mindset and how he prepared for the season. And I just took that in, and that made me a better player, and made me learn how to work harder, gym wise. I mean, just weights, just staying in tune with your body, taking care of your body, eating right. That's a big thing. Bream he always ate right. Like he eat a lot of candy, but he never liked to really like go crazy with the whole junk food. So I learned that from him, and that's, I mean, I'm still like, I'm 37 years old, and I'm still eat like I'm still playing. Like I gained them all.
Yeah, and even your brother. I mean, Kareem still looks in amazing shape.
Oh man, 42, yeah,
He
he's
look he looks
phenomenal
younger than me.
shape,
I'd be
man.
like, man, when I'm with him, I'm like,
Like
man, stay away from me,
I'm like, geez. He wear them tight ass clothes,
man.
man.
I remember I was ordering him something, and he was like, I'm a large. I'm like, okay, but hey,
Man, I'm
he
like,
is,
this shit.
man.
Hey, I mean, he's 6'4", man. You ain't no way you wear a large, man. Get yourself get yourself an XL.
Man, but he's a hell of a great.
Yeah,
I grew up watching him, man, and so
yeah,
it's not to like it. But so now you're drafted by Portland. You're traded to Indianapolis, and I see you. I heard you say you live there, so I'm
yeah.
guessing it really meant something for you to be in Indianapolis.
I
I see
mean,
that.
this is where the family wanted to move. When I was after 2016, my last year in Golden State, we decided to just move here. It was just easier with the kids, and at that time I signed with Minnesota, so it was an easy travel day instead of going back and forth to California and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I just been here since then. I
So
want
now
to come home. I want to go home, but it's hard to get away from the kids.
it is, man. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so you're in Golden State. You're there
Yep.
with Mark Jackson originally, and
hmm
and a lot of people don't really get to hear this from other players' perspective. But what was the difference for you between Mark and playing for Steve, and what transitioned you guys from being on the Cups to NBA champions?
what really set us apart was Steph. I mean, my first year when we had Mark and all that, I think we won like 23 games the first year I got traded over there. I think that was the year of a lockout, and I had my best year because Mark was like, "Hey, you have a mismatch." He's from New York, so you have a mismatch. We going to you. Like we never like this is something I never did in my career. I was never like given the ball like, "Hey, you go one on one with this guy." Instead of just go spot up in the corner or come out downstream and stuff like that. So he let guys just like play free, and that's why a lot of guys like really love and really appreciate what he done for Golden State because he really made Steph who he is today to where he gave him that freedom. He gave him that confidence, like, hey man, this is your world. We just pretty much is living in it. And Steph he's took it in his 90s up off and running, man. He's 35 years old, averaging 30 points a game still. It's crazy to see, man. But the game has changed so much from 2011 to now.
No question.
Yeah, yeah.
So that 2015 year,
hmm
did you guys go into the season like thinking you could win an NBA championship, or you guys just figure you were still building towards one?
Um, I mean, I think that's the year. What did we do that year? I mean, I was injured that whole year. I was bouncing back from the ACL, so I was pretty much recovering and stuff like that. Still trying to get back to that high level playing. But I mean, we just knew from the start that the group was just different. I think that's when we brought Andre Iguodala in,
Hmm.
and this was Iguodala when he was like bouncy and he's playing 70, 80 games a year. And he really changed that. He really changed that dynamic for that team. And Clay just getting better and better. And Draymond stepping in that new role, taking over at that starting power forward position. Um, it was just the right time for us.
And that's what I want to ask you about. So I'm sure you get asked about Steph and Clay all the time, but can you kind of talk about the people that that sometimes get caught up in what they hear in the media, and can you talk about the importance of the role Draymond played on that first team and setting the tone? Like, what was his
I mean,
impact?
he was just an enforcer. Like he was a guy that can pretty much do it all. He at that point in his career, he was averaging 14 points a game, so he was scoring, he was being aggressive, and then he would put up 8 to 10 rebounds. He defend everybody, defend 1 through 5. So his importance to that team was very key for them to succeed and having 4 championships now.
Yeah, and you were there for the first one, man. It's not like the first one. They won a lot,
It's
but
nothing like the
every
first one.
day,
It's not,
but you was a part of the
especially when
first
like,
one.
like yeah, it was very unexpected too. Like Iggy played out his mind in that finals,
He definitely
and
did.
I think he got
Finals
Finals
MVP.
MVP that year. Oh yeah, yeah. But the way LeBron was doing this man every single game was just unbelievable.
So
40
now,
points a game. Hey, he
let's
was crazy.
move. I was gonna say let's move to 2016 real quick. The 3-1 down, and I mean you guys are 73-9. This is your last year in Golden State, right?
Yeah.
73-9. You're on the best regular season team in NBA history. You're up 3-1. I know you guys are thinking, it's done. Like, what was that like as you kind of saw? Like, what was the emotions of that series from, how,
Once you up 3-1, you think the series is over. Like we like dominating the Cavs. Like they had no answer for whatever we was doing. And then Draymond ended up getting suspended.
hmm
And that momentum switch was like crazy, and the emotions of the team just went down because at that time Draymond was that enforcer. He was that emotional guy for the team. He was the guy that we needed at that point to close out that series. And then that's when like LeBron and those guys just start going crazy. LeBron took over that series, the last 4 games. I mean, to come back from 3-1, this is crazy to even think about.
Man, it was,
Yeah,
it set off
it's
a chain. It set off
unbelievable.
a chain of events that changed the NBA forever. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's,
and that's
uh,
exactly Draymond getting suspended. Man, we ain't had no answer for what LeBron was doing those last
yeah.
3 games. Kyrie hit that big shot, Game 7, and man, it was all she wrote.
I mean, so
Yeah,
you, so
I mean,
you,
I'm happy.
so you signed with
Go ahead.
Minnesota after that.
I signed Minnesota after that, and that was pretty much my last year. I
Okay.
signed a 10-day with Portland in 2018.
But you went you
I
went
went
you,
to
you went overseas for a little bit, right?
yeah, I played in Greece for 2 years
Okay.
during
Now,
COVID though, so it didn't really count.
let's say that, man.
That
Basketball is
should have,
basketball. As long as you can
man.
play.
Basketball. I mean, it's totally different when you don't got people in the crowd.
That's
I
true.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just the energy of the arena is totally off.
So when you so just to as we go into the ABL, the rivalry against Kansas State. Now I know also
Yeah.
Kansas Missouri is a big time rivalry, but what did Kansas State versus Kansas mean to the state? But also, what did it mean to your team beating them?
Just for us, I mean, that rivalry is just huge. It's always been there. I mean, it's going to be there to the end of college basketball time. But I mean, it's something about the K State, the Wildcats, we just don't like. We don't like they're 2 hours away. We don't like anything about no Wildcats. I seen some Wildcats color up here this way a couple days ago, and I had to say something because we just don't like them Wildcats colors.
So as we get ready for this alumni game, and with you being the GM of Kansas, and you guys get ready to play Kansas State, like what are you looking forward to get out of that game?
I mean, I'm just looking for the W. That's the big thing. I mean, that's the most
Mhm.
important thing is getting the win, and I'm getting them bragging rights.
No, it definitely is, man.
No, no.
So what else do you have going on that you would like to tell us about? I know you're retired now. So what are you focused on off the court? What do you have going on you want to tell
So
the people about?
so this year I was focused on college basketball. So broadcasting for TV.
Okay.
You know, some TV stuff. I really enjoyed it. Think about doing it. But the season's about to start up this week. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
Great stuff, man. I really appreciate you joining us, man. It's great to have you on. I look forward to working with you over the next couple months as we bring this game together. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a great time. So thanks for coming on, man. Hopefully we can talk again on Alumni Talk. And thanks everybody for joining us again. Alumni Talk produced by my brother Ethan Goins, Enspire Films. Follow us on Twitter at ABL Ballin. I'm at the ABL USA, Instagram at ABL Ballin, and then www.ablballin.com as we begin to announce games. We announced 2 already. We announced Syracuse, Georgetown, now Kansas State. So we're hoping to have that's look like going to be early August. But that's one we've locked in, and hopefully soon we can lock in Duke, Carolina, and Georgia Tech. Also Kentucky, Louisville. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it big this summer. Your brother has a big vision, and I'm just trying to make it happen, man. So definitely, man. Thanks everybody, man. Appreciate your time. Until next time, this is Alumni Talk. See you guys later.